my name is Eve Mashamba, and as I mentioned earlier on, I'm the founder of BU. And basically, with BU, we encourage students to be their most authentic self through storytelling and education. We also focus a bit on mental health since the pandemic just took everyone by shock, and a lot of deaths have been caused by mental health rates being too high. And so we also focus on that. And I would like you to please give me a brief summary of who you are, your background or your upbringing, and what you're currently doing.
Okay, so my name is Natasha Chitimbe. My husband put a ring on it, so I'm Natasha Chitimbe Mukamba. I am 31 years old. I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I'm a writer. I have written quite a number of things, short fiction, fiction as well. I'm a content editor, book editor as well. And the main scope of what I do is communication, as well as youth advocacy and youth mentorship. So, wow, it's so long ago, but I'll try and summarize. So I was born in a small town in Mazabuka, southern Zambia. And it's a sugarcane, about 20. So it's a very small town, and not much is expected of someone that comes out from that town. But I'm glad that some of my generation has actually, been one of the people that have, just started to make a difference in their society, in their community as well. So spent my education there as well. And my high school was in Livingston, which is a tourist capital. We have the Victoria Falls. Hello. So yeah. And what else? Some girl dreamt of being a writer and getting into media, and a few, a few hiccups here and there, because African society desires that, it's always a blue collar kind of job, and media wasn't something that my parents really wanted me to do. So I went to account school in Lusaka. And funny thing is, I met a number of my friends there. My passion for girls and young people started because, well, I don't know where I can pinpoint the actual point where everything started, but I can say that even I can trace it back to, my time in middle school, where you're given leadership roles, and you feel what your peers are feeling, and you have to step up and be the kind of leader that you should be. And so we started. I usually say we, because I'm a Christian, so me and God kind of thing. So a number of things started from there. I started being a part of the youth ministry. I started just being a voice. It's not something that was deliberate, but I found myself writing about the plight of the young people in my country, writing about young women, and up to now I still do that. Also, I'm trying to summarize, but when some of the things that I've gotten to do don't just involve writing, but I'm right in there in the community where we're getting to work with young people and young women especially. And the recent thing that I was doing before I had my baby, and I had to take a little break, was being the coordinator of a university program. So it was all about young people, and we called it the academic boot camp. So more like rehab, but not really like rehab, where young people from the gap year program from high school, um, their gap year period.
Okay.
We got to tailor make. We tailor made programs for them. So we had life courses. We taught them entrepreneurship. We taught them core values. We taught them purpose, because purpose is very important. We taught them so many things that you won't find in college. So that was what I was recently doing. And right now I'm writing. So yeah, pretty much. There's a lot to say, but I'm trying to summarize.
But you've done so
Yeah.
much, eh? That is so
Mm,
impressive.
mm,
Especially when
yeah.
you
Thank
described the
you.
fact that you come from such a small town where you're not expected to do anything and you've done so much. It's
Mm,
quite
mm-hmm.
encouraging for young people to see
Yeah.
people like you doing so much, and now we get to look up to you and be like, oh my
Thank
gosh,
you.
if Natasha can do it, I most definitely can do it too, to never give up.
Definitely.
So, out
Definitely.
of
Yeah.
interest, in your Go Table article, you mentioned the fact that one word to describe yourself would be a dynamite, and that just stuck with
Mhm.
me. So, why dynamite?
Wow. Wow. I wasn't expecting that. Well, I grew up being on the skinny side, on the small side. So in African society, you'd be told stuff like keep eating, which they still
Okay.
tell me to, or you're not expected to be much of a woman, or if you're not a certain size, or you don't have, the big African womanly body and stuff like that. So I think it stuck with me because there's the adage that says dynamite comes in small packages.
Yes.
And when I look at, yeah, when I look at all the gifts that I have, the work that I know I should be doing, my purpose and assignment, it's bigger than me. It's way bigger than, yeah, it's way bigger than how I look. So for me, that was just it for me. I'm dynamite. If you look at me, I'm quiet. I'm quiet. I'm shy. I'm introverted. But give me something to do that I'm really passionate about. You'd be like, is that Natasha? So more like dynamite. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think that was it. Yeah, that
Oh,
was it.
wow. I just love dynamite. Oh my God. So I mentioned earlier on that BU aims to create mental health and through storytelling and education, right? So
Yeah.
since you're
Mm.
so passionate in youth, and you did mention a bit of your passion about the youth earlier on, what's the one message you'd give to your young self right now, and a message you'd give to the youth right now, knowing what you know and doing what you're doing?
Mm. Mm. Firstly, I'd like to thank my younger self. I'd like to thank her for being persistent, for being sure of herself, um, and not really, and she wasn't really sure about herself all the time, but she was sure about her purpose and her dream. And no matter what came her way, she persisted. She's quite stubborn. So I thank her for that, because I'm reaping the benefits of the decisions that she made. So, uh, but I'll tell her to keep her head up, to be so secure in who she is, because she is dynamite and she's going to do great things, and she has the capability to just do so much. She has no idea what the world has to offer, and what she has to offer. The world is waiting for her. So the world is waiting for her gift. She has a gift. She has a seat at the table, and she should take it, and not shy away from whatever it is that whatever it is that will be thrown at her. She earns her place at the table. Um, she's supposed to be in that room. Enough doors are going to open, and she shouldn't shy away from that. She should keep her head up. And to young people, it's not easy. All right, it's not easy, and so don't expect it to be easy. Whatever it is that you're, I'm all about dreams. I'm all about purpose. I'm all about young people discovering who they are and achieving everything that they know they should achieve. Um, and my advice to young people would be to know yourself. Get to that place where you know yourself, because so much will happen, but you need to know yourself. You need to understand who you are, understand where you're going as well. You may not know the whole way. You may not know the middle. You might just have a dream and a vision and say, hey, I want to be president. So the middle is not going to be easy. And you need to realize that, but you need to be ready to put in the work. All right, you need to be ready to put in the work. You need to be. I like what Oprah says. She says people would tell her, "You're so full of yourself," and she's like, "What else am I supposed to be full of?"
Yeah.
And society has taught us, you need to be humble, which is good, which is true. But sometimes we mistake being timid, being shy with being humble.
Yeah.
So whatever it is that your dream is, go after it, because the world is waiting. And don't be shy to sit at the table, especially for girls, especially for women. We shy away because of what society teaches us. No, you're supposed to be like this. Don't talk back. Don't do this, don't do that. And we take that even as we get into college. We take that with us even as we, just go to the workplaces and stuff. When we're at the table, we shy away from speaking because we've been told a woman is supposed to be seen and not heard. So get to the table and just be your authentic self. I like what one of my mentors says. They say, know your truth and find your seat at the table. So I think that would be what I'd leave young people with today. Just know yourself. There's power in knowing yourself and being your authentic self, especially in such a time.
Yes, just to add on to what you say, I think we often think our dreams are not valued, or they're not worth it, or they're not enough. And we don't realize that once you get started,
Yeah.
it might not get easier, but it's easier to keep on going once you get started because you have momentum that you're working on. Starting
True.
is the most difficult
True.
thing, but
True.
once you start, you feel at ease because
Mm-hmm.
now you're working with something. And I just love that. So,
True.
how important is education to you? How important do you think education is?
When I look at my background, pardon my voice, I don't know what just happened, but we'll keep going.
It's like,
Um, Part of my, yeah, so when I was growing up, um, my mother is not an educated woman, but she has 7 children who are educated and doing amazing things in the world today. And she's the reason why I push myself away doing education, because she always tell me, you need to read, you need to read, you need to read, you need to study, and all of that, because it will open opportunities for you. So for me, she motivated me to 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 just get an education. And whenever I got the chance to, whether it was through scholarship or someone or I had to pay for it myself, I've always jumped on to be educated, because I believe that it grows you, it grows your mind, it gives you more opportunities. We may not want to talk about it, but the corporate world will not, look at you, they'll not, consider you if, you don't have a certain qualification, because to them it shows that you actually went to school, you were trained in a certain subject. So it's very important. It's very important. Yeah.
so, would you say that the stigma of the whole success is equals to education is true, fully true?
I wouldn't say that success is equal to education. I think education is important. It gives you a head start. It opens certain doors. But I think success is not the same for everyone. And the moment that we do define success, then we'll get to understand what it means to certain people. Because what is success to me is not what success is to you. If
Yes.
it's different. So I think people need to define what success means to them, because for others, if they get a PhD, then they consider themselves to be successful. But for others, they just want to have a solid relationship, and just be loved and all of that. We have different needs. So education is it means a lot, but I don't think I would equate it to success, because success is different for everyone. Really, it is.
Like through everything that you've been through and all the ups and downs, would you, what would you say is
Yeah.
the one thing that kept you going when everything else seemed to be falling apart? What motivated you to never give up?
Mm. I think I figured out or I maybe stumbled upon what it is that I wanted to do. It was about, for me, it was writing. I wanted to write. I wanted to have books on Amazon and, everywhere. I wanted to be at a place where I am creating programs for young people, where I am in the forefront, right in the middle of, being with young people and just, advocating and mentoring and all of that. So I think for me, it would be one of the things that kept me going, is the fact that I have the end in mind. I see that this is where I'm supposed to be. This is where I want to be. So this detour, this disappointment, this failure, let me see what I can learn from it. Let me see what this pain is here to do, or what am I learning from this? What is this teaching me? Because I'm still going. And also, I think my friends said that I'm very resilient. And I think I'm just stubborn, really, because I only have one life to live,
Yeah.
and I have things to do. So I have to keep going. So you have to build resilience to keep going. You have to just make a resolve with yourself to say, hey, I'm here to do this. You knock me down, I'll keep going. So resilience and having the end in mind, really, keep me going. So yeah, I think that those two would do.
On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being terrible and 10 being extremely awesome, how would you rate your
Mm.
mental health?
Mental health, right now, to be honest, I think 2020 has been the thing. So probably between 6 and a 7, 6 and a 7. Yeah, to be honest, to be honest, yeah, I think
So
I would say 6 to 7.
I was reading your writing. I think it was called
Mm,
It's Being the Natty Mom, and also A
yes.
Woman First that you wrote on the African dialogue.
Mhm.
And you speak about
Yeah.
societal standards in the African dialogue article versus putting yourself first. So would you say that your writing is kind of a journal for you to express yourself as well?
Yes, yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's an outlet, really. It's an outlet, and I believe that even as I, just release everything that is inside me, um, it will give others the permission to do the same, but also to just get a number of lessons from what it is that I'm going through or have gone through, and because really for me, I find that I get to teach or speak the best from what it is that I have been through and managed to actually come out of, or experiencing at the moment, and all of that, because people people love authenticity, they love realness, and that's the only way that you can actually connect at a very um, real level, really. So it is a way of me journaling, and it's very important for people to find an outlet, really. Yeah.
With all that have been said, I am actually quite happy that I had this interview with you. Those are all my questions for you for today. And
Yeah.
I also know that in your native tongue, Bemba, I think, Natasha means thank you.
Mm,
I want to say, Natasha, for
like
giving
that,
us your
like that.
wisdom, your knowledge, and your time. And we wish you all the best for the future and for your future endeavors, as well as the youth initiatives that you want to get
Thank
going
you.
with. I can't wait to speak to you more in the future again.
Thank you.
Do you have any questions for me?
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. What inspired you to do this? What we're doing right now? What inspired it?
Oh, wow. I mentioned that I'm in first year. It started in grade 10. So in primary school, I went through a lot of
Mm-hmm.
bullying. And when I got to high school, I realized how many people go through so
Mm-hmm.
much of it and nobody actually stands up and speaks about
Yeah.
it. So the initial idea was to create awareness about bullying and everything. But after a while, you realize that bullying is just an outlet people use to fix other
Yeah.
issues that are way deeper than bullying. And that's when I started focusing on being yourself, being authentic, and getting to the root of the matter
Mm-hmm.
and what's actually
Mm-hmm.
leading to that. And it led to Be You.
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful initiative.
Thank
Very
you.
beautiful.
Thank you so much, Natasha.
Yeah.
Enjoy your
Thank
day.
you for having me. Thank you so much. I'm actually very humbled. You too.
Bye.
Bye.